afternoon. Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Friday, June 7th. Riverfest weekend in Little Rock. Come on downtown and hear some music tonight and tomorrow. We're going to get out of here before the parking lots are full. Well, the big news is as expected yesterday, Donald Trump said that he was going to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord. It's bad for business, bad for America. That leaves him on the sidelines with Syria basically going against the whole rest of the world. I think that's the thing that troubles me most. You know, a lot of this agreement was a voluntary set of commitments that we might or might not have agreed to over time. It's going to take us a while to get out of it. In terms of specific impact immediately, it's probably not much either way, but I think what it says about our willingness to go along with the world is in some ways the biggest statement that arises from this. It's us against them. Everything's a competitive zero-sum game, not a matter of a world community all trying to reach the same goal. In any event, in Arkansas, Republican politicians to a man and woman seem to support the president as they do in most things. French Hill, the congressman from Little Rock, was absent with comments yesterday. Perhaps he'll weigh in before it's over. He's being very careful. There's some of those people who actually believe in climate change in the central part of the state, if not in the rest of the state. The Democratic Party did blast the president and Republicans for pulling away from the climate accord. And one thing that was interesting, at least two Arkansas mayors, Lionel Jordan in Fayetteville and Mark Stoll in Little Rock, are along with 6 other U.S. mayors, and saying, well, if the U.S. won't agree to deliver on the Paris Accords, mayors will. We're committed to them. Famously, the mayor of Pittsburgh, when the president said he was elected by people in Pittsburgh, not Paris, said, wait a minute, bud, we voted Hillary and we're for this climate accord thing. So there is that. Trump figures that by saying we're going to make America great again and never mind the details, it'll appeal to his base, and perhaps he's right. He's been right before on issues like these, so we're just going to have to see. But in the meanwhile, watch your thermometers and see what happens. Walmart's annual meeting, it's going to have the formal stockholders meeting today. It will vote down, of course, with all the Walton shares voted, anything that passes by way of progressive stockholder proposals. A new report today, among a various series of things that have raised questions about Walmart employment practices, is a new report that says some employees, including some in Arkansas, who claim they haven't been allowed to use the benefits of the Family and Medical Leave Act to get some excused absences from work, that legitimate reasons for being absent, illness, for example, have been used against them in employment. Walmart says it follows the law and looks out for its employees equally. From the rumor mill, word is rising that Trump may eventually finally appoint some U.S. attorneys to fill the jobs that he cleared out back in March. Word is growing that one of the people under serious consideration is Cody Highland, the prosecuting attorney in Conway, getting strong consideration apparently for the U.S. attorney's job in the Eastern District of Arkansas. He's not talking about it. Speaking of politics, looks like we've got one other new candidate for 2nd District Congress against Republican French Hill. This one is Natasha Halsey. She's a former Air Force photographer, retired now, and runs a vegan catering company. She says she wants to run as an independent. The state issued its monthly financial report today. Revenues are still lagging. We're ahead of forecast now simply because the governor cut the budget. The great economic boom that supposedly was brought to Arkansas by tax cuts and high employment isn't exactly showing off in the revenue report, but perhaps that'll change in the future. Speaking of money, City Manager Bruce Moore of Little Rock proposes a 5-year, $10 million plan to buy 450 or so new police cars. Our police car fleet has a lot of miles on it, and the cops could drive around in better cars, no doubt. I've suggested that perhaps we wouldn't need to replace so many cars so often if we didn't let 112 officers drive these cars home to cities outside of Little Rock, and a great tax-free job perk that encourages people to live elsewhere. Commuting to Cabot's worth $50 or so a day to the people who get the benefit, and we're encouraging them to live elsewhere. How about we put these cars back in town, and we might have some more in the motor pool so they wouldn't have to hot seat these cars like some of them do. Go out and listen to some music. Here Comes the Sun. It may burn a little hotter thanks to all the coal fumes we're putting out there, but they say the coal industry is good for us. I'm not so sure. I'm going to keep resisting. I'll be back Monday. I'm Max Brantley.